I'm going to ask you something. What is the greatest miracle in history? The parting of the Red Sea? The resurrection of Lazarus? Jesus walking on water? You probably guessed one of these. But there is a miracle in the Bible that is bigger, more striking, and more inexplicable than all of them. And it is almost never talked about. Joshua chapter 10, verse 13. The sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the nation avenged itself on its enemies. The sun stopped in the middle of the sky, and delayed going down about a full day. The sun stood still for about a whole day. Stop and think about it. The sun stopping means the rotation of the Earth stopped. A planet spinning at 1,600 kilometers per hour suddenly halting. Think about that. Oceans would be ripped from their beds. Mountains would crumble. Nothing would remain standing. But the Bible says the sun stood still, and Joshua kept fighting with his army. How? And scientists actually investigated this event. The results will shock you. First, let's look at the context of that day. Joshua is leading the Israelite army, and the people of Gibeon have made an alliance with Israel. But 5 Amorite kings are furious about this alliance, and they attack Gibeon. Word reaches Joshua from Gibeon, "Come and save us." Joshua marches all night long. Early in the morning, he attacks the Amorite army. The battle begins, and Joshua realizes something. The enemy started to retreat, but darkness was falling. If darkness falls, the enemy will escape, and they will attack again tomorrow. Joshua had only one night to finish this, and at that moment, Joshua did this. According to the Bible, he turned to God and cried out, "Sun, stand still over Gibeon, moon, over the valley of Ajalon," and it stopped. But now comes the real question. What actually stopped? The year 1936. A researcher named Harry Rimmer claimed that scientists working in one of NASA's predecessor agencies did a calculation for the lost day. He claimed that while calculating space orbits, they found a 23-hour and 20-minute gap in the calendar. And he said that the event where Joshua stopped the sun matched this duration perfectly. The remaining 40 minutes? The miracle in 2 Kings chapter 20, during the time of King Hezekiah, where the sun went back 10 steps, 23 hours and 20 minutes plus 40 minutes, exactly 24 hours. This claim caused a massive stir across the world. Millions of people shared this story. It appeared repeatedly in Christian publications, but NASA never officially confirmed this claim. And when many researchers tracked the source of this story, they could not find an actual NASA document. So this story is highly likely an urban legend, but that does not mean the event in Joshua is not real. It just means this specific claim cannot be proven. So, what is the truth? Scholars, theologians, and scientists have given very different answers to this question. First interpretation: planetary deceleration. Some researchers think like this: it might not be the Earth literally stopping, but its rotation slowing down, and the light bending caused by this deceleration could have made the sun visible above the horizon for a longer time. Today, there is a known atmospheric optical phenomenon, analemma. Because of sunlight refracting through the atmosphere, the sun can continue to be visible for a few minutes even after it is actually set. This theory can explain a very small window of time, but it is not enough for about a day. Second interpretation: solar eclipse theory. Researchers from Oxford University published a very interesting paper in 2017. Before the phrase, "the sun stood still," in Joshua chapter 10, something else is written. God rained down large stones from the sky. And the verse continues, "the sun and moon stood still." The Oxford researchers discovered that this expression aligns with ancient astronomical records kept in Egypt. An Egyptian record dating back to 1207 BC shows a solar eclipse that occurred in that exact region and during that exact period. And the original Hebrew word for "the sun stood still" is dam. This word can mean to stop shining instead of to stop moving. So perhaps the verse is saying this: the sun stopped shining, an eclipse. This theory is much more scientific, and it coincides with astronomical records. Third interpretation, God really stopped it. And of course, there is the most fundamental interpretation. If the God described in the Bible truly exists, a being who created the universe and outlasts the laws of physics, then suspending these laws is theoretically possible. This is not a physics explanation. It is an explanation of faith. But this must be said. The laws of physics give very clear answers to the question, what would happen if the Earth stopped? And those answers are highly destructive. So if we say it was a miracle, God had to suspend not just the sun, but all laws of physics at the same time. That is a miracle even greater than a miracle. Now, I am going to tell you something very interesting. The story of the sun standing still, or a long day being experienced, is not only in the Bible. In Chinese historical records, during the reign of Emperor Yao, an extraordinarily long day is mentioned. The date, approximately 2300 BC. In the Mexican Aztec tradition, there is a legend that describes the sun stopping. A different continent, a different culture. In Greek mythology, the god Zeus extended the night 3 times over to be with Alcmene. There are similar extended day stories in Peruvian, Babylonian, and Norse traditions as well. Cultures entirely unaware of one another, thousands of miles away. They all describe a similar experience. Is this a coincidence? Some researchers say that this cultural overlap could point to the fact that a truly global astronomical event took place. A massive asteroid flyby, a giant volcanic eruption, or something else we do not know. And this event was etched into the memory of different communities as the sun stood still. It is not certain, but it is thought-provoking. What actually happened over Gibeon that day? Did the Earth stop? Was it an atmospheric optical illusion? Did a solar eclipse occur? Or was it a miracle beyond human comprehension? We do not know. But we do know this. A man in the middle of a battle demanded something impossible. Sun, stand still. And, according to the Bible, the sun stopped. This verse has been standing there for 3,000 years. Science has neither fully disproven it nor fully proven it. And perhaps this uncertainty is the very power of this question. If everything could be explained, believing would not be this hard. What do you think actually happened that day? Write it in the comments. In the next video, we will cover the topic, God tried to kill Moses, that mysterious night in the Bible. Subscribe now so you do not miss it.